Okay, so this is going to be a video about how to set up a tag table. We have a piece of equipment we have in mind that we're going to connect to, which is the conveyor rig with the 3 cylinders. We also have a setup behind me here, which is the 1500, which we use for demos in class, which is basically a set of buttons representing the inputs, and then obviously 8 lights as well. So we're going to show both of them. We'll do the conveyor rig first of all. So on my particular setup I have my 1500 from the previous video, and I'm going to go down to PLC tags and show all tags. Now by default you will see here, depends on some of the options that you picked, you will have the default tag table, which is actually 50, which is what that's for. Tells you all the different types of tags that are available. They all perform various features, most of which you will never ever need to see and look at again in your programming life. But that's what the 50 means. There's 50 tags set in there by default. You can add a new tag table, so you can segregate out your tags if you so wish. So for instance, you might have a rather large machine, and each part of the machine might have its own separate tag table, just to help differentiate out where they're stored. And then obviously inside show all tags is going to be where everything is currently placed. So we're going to add in our inputs and outputs for our conveyor rig first of all. Now the name is the default name I'm going to use from the company, which is actually an LJ Create rig, and we're going to add in the name, which is S1, which is going to be I0.0. And the reason why I'm beginning with that is because by default Siemens will make basically a guess at I0.0 is your first one you so wish. It fills in most of the other information you so wish as well. So for instance, you can change which tag table that it belongs to by adding it into the main one. It will, by having a bit address, know that the data type is bool, and then above and beyond that you may wish to add a comment. I'm not going to go and put too much detail, but it is a 3-beam sensor. And it is detecting low parts. And then as I continue on here, S2, and then SWG, SWR, these are just the standard names that we give each of the parts. And again, that is, you can use a drag down for that, and then just change the one part you need, which is high parts. And then SWG is switch green, and it is a normally open push button on our particular machine. SWR is also a normally open. And obviously green and red I should maybe add in. All your standard Microsoft shortcuts, copy, paste and so on all work. R3 is going to be the magnetic pickup sensor, and it detects when the cylinder 3 has been extended. And again, for the sake of speed, drag them down, override yes, I currently blink anyway, and then I just need to change the number to a 2 for that one, and a 1 for that one. So that's all my inputs done. The next one that I want is going to be a Q0.0, which is going to be the output for the motor, which is E for enable as it's being called. As you can see here, automatically guesses that I want I0.7. We know that not to be correct, so we can either just type straight over the top of it, like so, or I could go into the drop down menu and then change the qualifier to whichever one I want, and then obviously the address and bit number too. Right, easy as just to type over the top of it. You might have noticed that by default, as I put one of these in, if I type one myself, I0.1, I've typed in Q0.1, but when I hit enter, you see that it puts a percentage sign in front of it. It's just Siemens automatically does that, and what that means is it's a global address. It's available everywhere for you to program with. That is enable conveyor, and then I just fire the rest of these in. So it's R, C1, C2, C3, LR and LG. Those are all the standard names given by the company. And that's from 0.0 to 0.6 for the outputs, and R is the reverse contact. C1 is extend cylinder 1, and again I drag down just to save me typing a little bit. That is lump red, or red lump, might be easiest to put in, and green lump. And that is now your tags ready to be used inside the rest of your program. So it's always advisable to do your tags first. So if I go to my main OB, not that would be programming here, but if I do put in a piece of code, I can now, as I start typing, for instance, I get the option to come up, so I can select now from all my tags and go down through. For instance, maybe I wanted that one, and again, same idea, just click and you drag the adopt bit and you go down and pick whichever particular thing you need and place it in as an example. And that's tags.